Spencer, welcome back, mate. First of all, did you take any stick from your staff after last week's outtakes?
Yeah, thank you. They loved all those. Really appreciate that, Paul. Really.
You didn't know that. You didn't know that was coming, did you? I didn't tell you.
Absolutely not. No, thank you. Really appreciate it.
And to help you and hold your hand through today's video, you've brought in Rena. Hi, Rena. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Tell us your role at BQ
Good.
Watches.
Well, on a daily basis, I help Spencer with running the office and also answering inquiries from people that phone to ask about any of the watches.
She's here, Paul, to correct all the mistakes I know, where things go wrong.
We might have,
to do all your thinking for you.
Yeah.
hopefully there'll be less outtakes today.
Spencer,
whenever someone's complaint, Paul, we'll put them over to Rena.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Customer services department. Spencer, I want to start today by talking about one or two brands, perhaps other than Rolex, to get kicked off, because I'm always being accused of being so Rolex centric. So today, I want to ask you a question to kick off at least. Pick me one or two brands that you think might be hot for 2021. I've got one in my mind in particular, but I've put you on the spot, I know, but give me a clue as to what you think might be hot.
Sure, no problem at all. I mean, one I was going to mention, and I know you said not Rolex related, but I think Tudor are very, it is obviously a sister brand of Rolex. I think they're a great brand, and the Black Bays and all of those in and around the £3,000 mark is a great price, but it's also a great product. The matte dials, the quality of them is phenomenal. And where they're sort of a fraction of the cost of a Submariner is very good value.
Yeah, I've got half a dozen of them myself, to be fair. They've impressed me. I think they were certainly the brand 2019, 2020. What about Omega, Breitling? Anything from them you're looking forward to in 2021?
Yeah, I'd have Omega over Breitling personally. I think the quality of Omega, the movements, the glass backs, the detail they've got on them is phenomenal. Really is. And I don't know if you've seen there's new Snoopy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah. We've got the new silver Snoopy to look forward to. I must admit, I'm going to hold my hands up, Rena, and I'm going to be honest with you, right? I'm a man from South London, and I listen. Flying dogs on the back of watches and wannabe spies and astronauts has never really been my sort of thing. That flying dog on the back of that moon watch kind of done it for me. Coming from where I came from, the only flying dogs I used to see were the ones that my old uncle would kick down the road after he come out of the betting office on a Friday. So a lovely watch, but not for me personally. But I can appreciate the collectability of that watch, the way it's been produced. It's a beautiful thing. Cartoon characters are just not for me. But I can understand why a lot of people want this watch, and it's going to be selling for big money, isn't it?
And I'd like to say that actually Snoopy's been featured on quite a lot of clothing brands, especially last summer on some sweatshirts, denim shorts, that kind of thing. So maybe they've jumped on that bandwagon. Who knows?
Could be.
Well, it was there a long while ago, wasn't it? There was. I'm not really that up on it, but on the first Man on the Moon watch, there was something with the Snoopy. So it goes back years. It's not just.
It's not. No, to be fair, it's not something new. It's not a bandwagon jump. Look, they're established at what they do. Obviously, they've got a strong affinity with James Bond. Look, I like Omega watches. I appreciate their quality. I like them aesthetically to look at. I think the way they're made, excuse me, the way they're made and produced is excellent. I think distribution of the Snoopy is the way Omega have done that, at least in Asia, is a lesson for Rolex, because what they've done is that they've taken orders for this watch. You pay for it, and then they'll only take your money if they can guarantee delivery of that watch. So this is a watch that's going to be hugely sought after. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to be selling for big money. I wouldn't try and stop anyone from buying it, because I think they're going to make money on it. They're just not my cup of tea. It's the same as Hublot, maybe not everyone's cup of tea, or AP, whatever. Everyone has their own choice and their own taste.
Sure. What's the production on that, Paul? Do you know how many pieces
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure, but there'll be plenty of people that do, and they will pop it in the video in the comment section. They'll know a lot. What you find with Omega owners is that they know a hell of a lot about their brand. They're very loyal followers. I have a lot of respect for Omega followers because they are dedicated, almost like no other brand. I find that Omega.
They know more than Omega, yeah, Paul.
They know.
They write the script.
Exactly. They wrote the script. So basically, I think Omega, as always, will be in for a good year. My pick for next year is actually Bulgari. I think they're going to have a good year, Bulgari. So much so, I mean, I've just bought one of the new Octos that arrives with me hopefully tomorrow, and if it does, I'll unveil it. Excuse me, on the channel. I've gone for the pink gold and ceramic model. Beautiful things, real works of art, and I think Bulgari have done a lot in the last 12 to 18 months, and I think they've got a lovely range right now. So all in-house as well. I think they're going to be a brand to keep an eye out for in 2021. But listen, what have you got on? I know you've got some bits and pieces on your desk for me again this week. Rena, did you choose these or did Spencer choose them?
No, they're all Spencer's choices, so blame him.
I thought they might be.
What it is, Paul, we just thought, as it was very popular last week with what we catalogue, just things that have come across our desk, we've just brought here to show your people,
Yeah.
A selection here. I'll just run through quickly. I'll let Rena kick off with the ladies there. We've got ladies Patek 24.
Yeah, always lovely. Yeah, always a lovely watch. Really, yeah.
That's with the diamonds, the 24 with the black dial.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's also, it's just come back from a full refurb from Patek. Looks absolutely mint.
And they're good value, aren't they? Considering what you get for your money, but you're buying into the Patek brand. They're value, aren't they? Really.
Absolutely. I mean, it's that's all on the website. I'm not sure of the exact price, but very good value. Another beautiful piece here.
Yeah, it's good.
White gold ladies date just with original set dial and bezel.
That is a beautiful watch. Yeah. So that's a mid-size, yeah.
No, that's ladies. That's
ladies size. Yeah, it looks bigger than that when you hold it out to the camera. Very popular watch. That won't last 5 minutes this time of year, I shouldn't imagine.
No. Again, something else.
Yeah.
We've got a Jaeger there with diamonds. Now that is a bigger size. That's probably 36, 38 mil, which is again something rather unusual. The Jaeger with diamonds.
I'd call that a watch wearer's watch. Someone that's going to buy that is going to know their watches, and they're going to appreciate that. And their wife's certainly going to enjoy wearing it. Rena, can you pop that one on your wrist for me? I'd like to see that on your wrist, if you don't mind. Right, Rena, I gather you've got that on your wrist now. Let's have a quick look at that. I want to get a gauge of the size of it for both myself and my viewers. Yeah, that looks like that looks 36 to 38 mil, Spencer. Lovely size.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a full bracelet by the looks of it, a big bracelet on there.
Rena, I can see that being your Christmas present.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's the build up to Christmas been like so far, mate? Because we're into December now. Where are we? The 3rd today, as we record this. Traditionally, I don't know how you found it. I always used to find November to be one of my busiest months, and oddly enough, January as well. But how's December started for you guys?
Things. I think this whole year haven't been what you think. What you think's going to happen doesn't happen. Just got to take every day as it comes. Really, that's my take on it.
Rena, how do you find working in the watch business? Have you enjoyed it? Have you been around the watch business for very long?
No, I've come to it relatively new. I was doing something before that was very much affected by Corona. So I've come to work here and I've really enjoyed it. Every day is very different. There's so much to learn every day, and it's a fabulous office of people here. Spencer's okay.
Well, she's told me it's the best job she's ever had.
That's one way to get a pay rise, I suppose. But you're enjoying it, Rena, anyway. You like the people. Is it different to what you thought it would be? Is it different to what you imagined it would be?
Yes, I think I'm quite amazed by the variety of watches and the specifications for everything. And I mean, Spencer's knowledge is unbelievable, so it does blow me away. And as I said, I just feel like I've got lots to learn every day. So it's always interesting anyway.
Absolutely, it's very rewarding as you go on. Spencer, I don't know if you saw the video that I released last night about the ADs. I just want to. I don't want to sort of harp on it too much. I just wanted to have a quick word with you about it because I know that you've watched it as well yourself. Honest opinion, mate. I don't mind if you disagree with me. I just want your honest take on it. What do you
I
think?
totally agree with you. I'll give you. I've spoken with many people on this. My take is the whole flipping Rolex holding back cards. It's all a conspiracy. So going back, Paul, people travelled to the Caribbean, and if they bought a gold Rolex, they were offered a stainless steel one. And this went on quite a lot in 06, 08. Then in 2012, we were offering 10% discount on sports and 25% discount on gold watches. And there was still a small margin of profit in that. But it was a great deal for everyone. So what I think is, we then had turned around and we had Rolex holding back cards. Rolex didn't want flippers. So what Rolex have done, they've sort of made out this whole conspiracy of flippers and holding back demand and not supplying Submariner. First of all, it was always Daytona's were on the list. You could always buy a Submariner, a Yachtmaster, a Datejust. And then they've copied this model and they've applied it to the whole range. So they've now turned around to people and said, well, if you buy gold, if you buy watches, a bit like your video the last few days, and what you've said isn't wrong, and the shops have made out they're doing you a favour to sell you these watches. So they're not doing you a favour, they're doing themselves a favour. So what their policy is to make you spend tens of thousands of pounds on watches you don't want to then get the ones you do want. And they're not producing enough of the Daytonas, the Submariners. So they've suddenly evened out the playing field on everything. Whereas years ago there was discounts, they've suddenly made the public spend a lot of money on models they don't want. Even Datejust. I mean, Rena will tell you, we take calls all day long. How much over you pay for a 26mm plain Datejust on Jubilee? People wanting 300, 500 over. People wanting £1,000 over on Moisture Perpetual. Because Rolex are holding back all of these models unless you spend a lot of money. So it's very clever. They weren't interested in holding back cards. They're not interested in any of that. What they've done is leveled the playing field for all of their stock. They've made what doesn't sell, they've made people buy it in order to achieve getting a Submariner or a Daytona.
In some ways, you've got to just hold your hands up in awe and say, look, they've got everything. I mean, I'm always saying, I don't remember the last time Rolex got very much wrong, if ever. And they've certainly got, from a business perspective, once again, Rena, they've got this right. Okay, their board of directors and they're doing, they're fabulous.
Paul, they're absolute geniuses. They're geniuses.
Yeah.
And everyone's tried to make out having a go at the ADs and why can't you get me this? Why they don't want to get anyone. They create the waiting list. It's a retail marketing ploy. Like someone told me years ago with Sports Direct, how they put the tills at the back of the shop. Are you familiar with this, Paul? Have you never been? So again, another genius, Mike Ashley. Why does he put the tills at the back? So people have to walk all the way through the stores and go right to the back of the store to buy something. And then they have to walk all the way through the store with a kid saying, Dad, can you get me this football? I want this, I want that. So they've had to go on the journey all the way through the store. It's genius. But Rolex are cleverer than anyone, and psychology, the sort of strategy behind it is amazing.
It is amazing, but the only things that I've been, pointing out is the somewhat double standards, which brings me on to my next point. And you probably won't have seen this, but let me tell you something else that's occurred today, and it is thanks to one of my viewers. I mean, we've got an army, 30,000 people plus out there looking out for stories and news every day. Here's a thing, Spencer, that you probably won't have seen. Now, we have these groups telling us, you shouldn't be paying over list. You don't want to be buying from the grey market. You shouldn't be paying this. You shouldn't be paying that. Only we can sell you watches at list price, I should say. Now today, Watches of Switzerland have what they state to be a pre-owned Rolex Submariner date Hulk 11610 LV on their website for £16,450, including VAT. Now I'm just gonna go through that again. A pre-owned watch for 16,400, we including VAT. Thank you. Straight away, you get it. So is the watch
wrong? But they shouldn't be selling it over list either.
Well, exactly. This is what I'm saying. So it's okay for them to sell the Hulk. Yes, okay. It's a discontinued model. We all know that, but it doesn't matter. They're telling everyone that will listen that anyone that sells their watches over list price is a horrible grey market dealer. Shouldn't deal with them. You know, it's wrong ethically, morally, blah blah blah. This watch isn't worth that much money, and then they're selling them for £16,450 on their official Watches of Switzerland website. They say it's pre-owned, but then they say the price includes VAT. Now, I've already done this, but Spencer, you're a watch dealer. You tell me what's wrong there with the VAT and the pre-owned.
Well, there's not VAT on pre-owned. It's not.
Thank you.
Including that.
It's even new in including VAT, or it's pre-owned. And I'd love to see where it came from. I'd love to see the name on the warranty card, which dealer it came from, because this is just a guess. I'm not making any accusations, but this is just my guess. The Hulk has been discontinued for a very short time. If you was an authorised dealer, let me put the ball in a very safe court. If you was an authorised dealer and you had a Hulk sitting in your safe and you knew exactly what was going to happen, because anyone that knew anything about watches knew what was going to happen, would you sell it to the next customer that walks in that asks you for one, or would you keep
What's
it?
What's list on that? Sort of 7,250, 7,750 when that was this. I think maybe about
7,250, I think, from memory. But here's the thing. What I'm saying is that watch is either unworn, and if it's unworn, they're selling an unworn watch, probably. And as I said, no accusations. I'd love to see the card.
Who told you of this? Who told you of this, Paul?
Well, it was pointed
It's
out
on the website, is it?
It was pointed out to me by one of the viewers to the channel. I've had a look over there, and there it is, sure enough. 16,450 for an alleged pre-owned Hulk, but the price includes VAT. So there's a contradiction in terms there. Now, it might just be a minor one. To be fair to Watches of Switzerland, let me be clear on something, because I don't want to be nitpicky. It might just be that every single thing they put up on their website says including VAT after it. And where do you think this is going to go next year, availability, Spencer? I mean, look, I have a hunch, and again, it's this is a topic for another video all on its own, probably. I've just got a sneaky feeling. Some days I think I'm right, other days I think no, they'd be crazy to do it. But if you wanted to create even more hype around your brand than already exists, and like we've said, we've paid them every compliment we can. They're the best in the business at doing what they do. What sort of clever move would it be to discontinue one or two, if not all, of the new Oyster Perpetuals? Maybe, for an example, just discontinue the blue Tiffany dial, or the yellow dial, or the red one, or
you mean go for short production runs? Run them for sort of
1 year, 2 years, maybe 2 years. The prices of those watches, because we're talking stellar dials almost, you know, the colours of them, not stellar dials, but they're unusual. They're going to go, I mean, they're already going for big money, way over list, as you know, the more tropical colours, if you like, the more summer colours. Can you imagine what would happen to those prices next year? If Rolex said,
like you say, they'd be up. I mean, if we look back, Paul, look at where Submariners are, 10s, 12s, 10,000s. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. No one would ever have imagined when they were sort of 3s and 4s and 5s and 6 grand, they were a lot of money. It's just crazy, and people just accept where they are now. You understand? I mean, every watch now is 10 grand. Is Datejust now?
Yeah,
I mean,
every watch is a big investment now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a huge amount of money. Huge.
Before we go, Rena, dish some dirt on Spencer. Give us something that our viewers can basically phone him up and
Here you go. You love starting trouble. There's nothing wrong with me.
Give me something. There has to be
more
something.
than my job's worth, Paul. Sorry.
Oh, well, look, next time maybe you can think of something. I mean, he's got to like something weird. I don't know, like brown sauce on his crisps or something. I want to find out about.
There's nothing wrong with brown sauce, Paul. Nothing wrong with that at all.
On crisps, no, absolutely, mate. And Spencer, thanks as always for coming on. I'm going to get you on if I can, mate. I'm going to try and get you on every week so that we can talk about some of the latest stuff that's going on. And I just want to, before we go, just remind our viewers that if you want to have a look at what Spencer's got to offer, the link to his website is below, bqwatches.com. Spencer makes himself available personally, especially, or he tries to at least, to all the viewers of my channel, does his best. But please bear in mind, guys, he's a very busy man. He does have a family, and it is coming up towards Christmas. But apart from that, he ain't bad.
Cheers, Paul. Thank you for that.
You take care, mate, and we'll speak again soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
See ya. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.